Annapurna I. Annapurna I is one of the most dangerous mountains in the world. It is located in Nepal and stands at 8,091 meters tall. The reason Annapurna is so feared is not just because of its height, but because of how unpredictable it is. The mountain is extremely avalanche prone, meaning climbers can be in danger even when they are experienced and well prepared. Huge sections of snow and ice can break away without warning, and once an avalanche starts, there is often very little time to react. Historically, Annapurna has had one of the highest fatality rates among the 8,000-meter mountains, with older estimates placing its death-to-summit ratio around 27 to 32%. That means Annapurna is not just dangerous because it is difficult to climb. It is dangerous because the mountain itself can turn against you at any moment. K2. K2 is the second highest mountain in the world, standing at 8,611 meters. It sits on the border of Pakistan and China, and it is known as the Savage Mountain. Many climbers believe K2 is harder and more dangerous than Everest because it is steeper, more technical, and much less forgiving. There is no easy route to the summit. Climbers have to deal with steep ice, exposed ridges, falling rock, avalanches, and some of the worst weather in high-altitude climbing. One of the most dangerous sections is the bottleneck, where climbers pass beneath a huge hanging glacier. If ice breaks from above, there is almost nowhere to escape. Historically, K2 has had a fatality rate of around 20 to 27%, depending on the dataset. Everest may be higher, but K2 is often seen as the mountain that punishes even elite climbers. Nanga Parbat. Nanga Parbat is located in Pakistan and stands at 8,126 meters tall. Its nickname is Killer Mountain, and it earned that name through decades of deadly expeditions. The mountain is dangerous because of its huge faces, avalanche risk, extreme altitude, isolation, and unpredictable weather. It rises dramatically from the valleys below, which makes the climb feel even more massive and exhausting. Climbers are not just dealing with one dangerous section, they are dealing with a whole mountain that is steep, exposed, remote, and brutally serious from start to finish. Older fatality estimates often place Nanga Parbat at around 20% in death-to-summit comparisons. It is dangerous because almost everything about it is extreme. The height, the weather, the terrain, and the history all add to its reputation. Dhaulagiri I. Dhaulagiri I is located in Nepal and stands at 8,167 meters tall. It is the 7th highest mountain in the world, but it does not get the same attention as Everest or K2. That makes it one of the more underrated dangerous mountains. Dhaulagiri is remote, avalanche-prone, and known for difficult weather conditions. Its huge snow slopes and exposed routes mean climbers are constantly dealing with serious objective danger. If something goes wrong, rescue is extremely difficult because the mountain is not as accessible as more commercial peaks. Older fatality estimates often place Dhaulagiri's death-to-summit ratio around 13 to 15%. That may sound lower than Annapurna or K2, but it is still very high for a mountain. Dhaulagiri is dangerous in a quieter way because the risks are built into the mountain itself. Kangchenjunga. Kangchenjunga is the 3rd highest mountain in the world, standing at 8,586 meters. It sits on the border between Nepal and India. Even though it is one of the tallest mountains on Earth, it is not as famous to casual viewers as Everest or K2. But among climbers, Kangchenjunga is known as a serious and dangerous challenge. The mountain is dangerous because of its remoteness, extreme altitude, long routes, bad weather, and difficult descent. On mountains like Kangchenjunga, reaching the summit is only half the battle. Many climbers get into serious trouble on the way down when they are exhausted, low on oxygen, and moving through dangerous terrain. Its fatality rate has historically been estimated around 14 to 16% in some death-to-summit comparisons. Kangchenjunga is dangerous because the mountain does not end at the summit. You still have to survive the way back down. Mount Everest. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world, standing at around 8,849 meters. It sits on the border between Nepal and Tibet. Everest is not always considered the most technically difficult mountain, but it is still extremely dangerous because of altitude. The summit is inside the death zone, where the human body slowly starts to shut down because there is not enough oxygen. At that height, even simple movements become exhausting. Climbers can suffer from altitude sickness, frostbite, confusion, exhaustion, oxygen failure, and sudden storms. Everest also has dangerous sections like the Khumbu Icefall, where huge blocks of ice can move or collapse. Its fatality rate is usually lower than mountains like Annapurna or K2, often around 3 to 4% in older comparisons. but because so many people attempt it, Everest still has one of the highest total death counts in mountaineering. Everest is dangerous because it combines extreme altitude, bad weather, crowds, and human pressure. The Eiger. The Eiger is located in Switzerland and stands at 3,967 meters. Compared to the Himalayan giants, it is not very tall, but the Eiger proves that a mountain does not need to be 8,000 meters high to be deadly. Its most famous feature is the North Face, one of the most feared walls in alpine climbing history. The North Face is steep, icy, exposed, and known for rockfall and sudden changes in weather. It has even been nicknamed the Murder Wall. One of the reasons the Eiger became so famous is that climbers on the North Face could sometimes be seen from the valley below. This meant that some historic climbing disasters were watched almost like live tragedies. The Eiger does not usually have a simple fatality rate like the 8,000-meter mountains, but its North Face has claimed many lives over the years. It is dangerous because it is a wall where mistakes are punished quickly. Matterhorn. The Matterhorn is one of the most recognizable mountains in the world. It stands at 4,478 meters and sits on the border between Switzerland and Italy. Its pyramid shape makes it look beautiful, but that beauty is part of the danger. Because the Matterhorn is so famous, many climbers underestimate it. They see the mountain in photos and assume it is a classic adventure, but it is still a serious alpine climb. The main dangers are rockfall, exposure, sudden weather changes, steep terrain, and overcrowding on popular routes. The Matterhorn has a long history of deadly accidents, going all the way back to the first successful ascent in 1865, when 4 climbers died during the descent. It does not have one simple modern fatality rate, but it is often described as one of the deadliest mountains in the Alps because so many people have attempted it over time. The Matterhorn is dangerous because it mixes fame with real technical risk. Denali. Denali is the highest mountain in North America. It stands at 6,190 meters and is located in Alaska. Even though Denali is lower than Everest, it can feel just as brutal because of where it is. The mountain is extremely cold, remote, and exposed to violent storms. Climbers also start from a much lower base than they do on many Himalayan mountains, which means the actual height gain is massive. This makes Denali physically exhausting. Another danger is that climbers often have to carry heavy loads and drag sleds through snow and ice. The weather can change quickly, and temperatures can drop to life-threatening levels. Denali's fatality rate is lower than peaks like K2 or Annapurna, but it has still caused many deaths over the years. Its danger is not just about climbing difficulty, it is about survival in one of the harshest mountain environments on Earth. Mount Washington. Mount Washington is very different from the other mountains on this list. It is only 1,917 meters tall and is located in New Hampshire in the United States. But despite its smaller size, Mount Washington is famous for some of the worst weather on Earth. The danger comes from how quickly conditions can change. A normal hike can turn into a survival situation when fog, freezing temperatures, high winds, snow, or rain suddenly arrive. Mount Washington has recorded some of the strongest wind speeds ever measured on land. This mountain is dangerous because people often underestimate it. They look at the height and assume it cannot be that serious. But bad weather does not care how tall a mountain is. Hypothermia, poor visibility, wind chill, and getting lost can all become deadly very quickly. Mount Washington belongs on this list because it proves one of the most important outdoor lessons. A mountain does not need to be huge to kill you.